Costa Rica, a country located in Central America with unlimited tourist potential that is ranked as one of the most visited international destinations on the globe. Despite steady economic expansion fueled by the openness to foreign investment and gradual trade liberalization, crime rates and financial inequality are on the rise. I had the opportunity to go down to this incredible country with 20 student leaders from Conestoga College. Together we hiked a volcano, explored a coffee plantation, and offered our services for 1 week to impoverished daycares in some of the most dangerous areas in the district of Parral. After getting my butt whooped and colored on, I had the opportunity to speak with the incredible women that have been fighting to establish the facility for over 12 years. We got talking about how they have invested their lives into bettering a poverty-ridden region's future and why they have taken such a massive task upon themselves. This is Respecting the Process in Poverty, Costa Rica. Maximo Naval is an intercultural center which opened their Costa Rican office in 2006. Field manager Sharon Sue oversees various projects and volunteer work. She explained to me what Maximo Naval contributes to the Costa Rican community, how she got involved, and why their work is necessary.
We are an organization that specializes in languages. We have English classes and Spanish classes, but we also do a lot of volunteer work. So we bring volunteers from all over the world, mostly Canada and the States, and we send them out to different projects.
How did you get involved?
I actually have worked a lot with volunteers previously, and then I had always walked by Maximo on my way to a different job, and then randomly just saw an ad, a job posting for a field manager position with them. And since I already knew where they were, I applied, and here I am.
What drew you to the position?
I think I studied biology, so my first love is always biology and conservation. What drew me to the position is working with volunteers, which I have done a lot of, and just getting to see all the projects that we have. We also work in conservation, so I get to hop out to those projects at certain points.
Cool. Can you tell me a little about the project we're at right now?
Right now, we are at a daycare center in Los Cuadros. Los Cuadros is a neighborhood of San Jose in Costa Rica, and it's considered one of the poorest and most dangerous communities of San Jose. The daycare center is founded by a lady named Vilma because she has always seen how the single mothers here in Parral, which is another name for the area, have always needed daycare centers, and there are up to, I think, 74 kids here that come either before school or after school, mostly for the free meals that they give out.
Okay, all right. And what do you think the difference for making is?
Well, a lot of these kids come Hola, Dylan. A lot of the kids come here out of school, and a lot of times they're just here because their mothers or their families can't afford to be looking after them all the time. Half of the community here is single mothers, so they drop their kids off here while they go to either work or look for work. So the difference that we're making here is we're just helping the kids, feel like they're not being dropped off at some daycare center where nobody wants them. There's very little structure here, so that's what the volunteers are here for. We bring activities, we bring games. Volunteers bring activities and games. We do arts and crafts, and we actually even help teach English at times. So that's our friend Dylan. He seems to enjoy us a lot.
Can you say hi, Dylan?
¿Cómo estás, Dylan?
Yeah.
After speaking with Sharon, Dylan and I found Haley Press, a Canadian volunteer whose passion for leadership led her to Costa Rica and into an environment she had never been in before. These are her thoughts and experiences.
I love it. I think it kind of reminds you, too, to appreciate the little things. You see here where they're playing bowling with milk jugs, and they're making basketball nets out of a piece of wire, and even yet they're so happy. And whereas kids at home were like video games and want so much more, and you got to appreciate the little things. And I'm loving that I can be a part of putting a smile on their face, and it's a culture shock too.
Yeah, tell me about the culture shock. What's that like for you?
Just seeing, like, especially we're in the poorest area in Parral. And for example, the one day we heard gunshots, and for me personally, I heard the sound and thought nothing of it until all of a sudden we were rushed inside. And I wasn't scared, didn't feel scared at all, but it was more just sad to know that the kids go through this. And one of the children even said, like, he's used to this, he hears it every night, and it's not something that you want a kid to have to go through.
Yeah. So what is the one thing that you want to take out of this?
I think the best part about this has been being able to be a part of putting a smile on the kids' faces. I'm definitely going to go home and just realize, like, appreciate how much we really do have in Canada and appreciate the little things. I think this trip has taught me so much about that. And two, to just, I think my goal now is going to be every time I travel, whether I travel for leisure or volunteer or whatever, but to always do something in some way before I leave.
Volunteering with the children, even for a short period of time, was eye-opening for the volunteers. Vilma Garcia Hernandez and her daughter Rebecca Guido Garcia experience this every day. Vilma has been working for 12 years to establish the daycare, which finally opened in June 2013. It was a long and difficult process, and they explained to me why a daycare was essential for the community.
What do they hope to accomplish from running this establishment?
The goal of the daycare is for the kids to, have a good development, for them to learn morals, for them to have an education, for them to get, like, physical activities, sports, and things like that. Because of all the talking that people do about how this area is a slum, people forget that the kids are 100% what the future is going to be. So they want to bring up a good generation of kids. Vilma's family has been here for over 30 years, and about 25 years ago, knowing the background of the community, a lot of families have to go work, and a lot of times there is no one to look after the kids. So in this particular case, one of the mothers went to go work, and she left two of the kids at home because there was no daycare, there was nobody to look after them. Somehow they started a fire, and the house burned down, and the kids died in the fire. So knowing that was pretty much where everything got started, about building a daycare and getting kids to come here instead of leaving them at home. So this daycare is a product of a dream that started a long time ago based on the necessities of the community. The community has needed this to be here for a very long time, and now they finally have it. Vilma was just thanking God because she says that He is the one that drives the project, and they have had a lot of luck in finding organizations that help out the project, such as this one. Mixto is an organization that helps fund the daycare. So for every kid between 0 and 5, they give per month about $200 so that the daycare can help fund staff and pay for food and just general, maintenance, everything. And for every kid that is from 6 to 12, they give about $120, $130 per month. So that is where most of their funding comes from. That's how they can have the staff that they have and keep the place up.
Okay, this is a question for you and you. What is the hardest part of your job?
Everything's difficult. There's nothing simple about this job, and the first thing that you have to have, says Vilma, is love. And with that, everything, you can make everything work. Everything is really difficult. The biggest issue, I think, is that the kids are coming from one reality to another reality. A lot of these kids come from troubled homes, and also the neighborhood here is not very safe. So that's what they're used to. They come here, and then what they have here is somebody that tells them they're doing a good job, somebody that loves them, and so they have to kind of try to work out those two realities in their head. What they want here is, for kids to grow up right, knowing that they are loved, that they are doing good things, and she wants the future presidents to come from here, and that's really the goal, just to know that there's good kids coming out of here. She's just very happy with the help that they've gotten here, both from Maximo and from you guys especially, just knowing that you guys are here to give the kids love and to be with them, because in a lot of cases, they here at the daycare center have had to help the kids with a lot of things. A lot of families don't have clothes, so they've had to, find clothes for kids, find underwear for kids, shoes, socks, whatever, you name it. So knowing that the kids come from these backgrounds and a lot of times are mistreated at home, it would be a sin for them to come here and be mistreated again by volunteers who are not happy with them and, get mad at them. So that being said, she's very thankful and she feels very happy with the work that you guys have done here.
Can you tell them that they're two of the strongest women that I've ever met in my life? And I'll do my best to make sure as many people hear this story as possible.
As we left the daycare for the last time and bid all of our new friends farewell, the solemn feeling of helplessness began kicking in. We were leaving behind over 80 undernourished, neglected, and poor children in a dangerous neighborhood. All that we could bring back were memories. Memories of how a language barrier didn't prevent us from a great conversation. Memories of some of the strongest and most loving people we might ever meet. Memories of the incredible dedication required to bring the slightest amount of light to a dark place. Memories of how respecting the process in poverty can bring hope to Costa Rica's future.